welcome back to Hazardous Endeavors.
Huzzah!
Ta-da! We're alive! Well, we're sort of alive.
We're still alive. We need to finish off this combat.
Doing
I would
just
like
fine.
Yeah, I bet, Elliot. So where we last left our intrepid adventurers, you were transporting several guards to a meeting point on the road to Jarral.
Yeah, and it really sucks.
Is it because of the vampire?
Yeah, I really think that this adventure so far bites.
Oh, well then. Great way to start us off there. So yes, you had met up with the people on the road who were in a wagon, and they had a large package. And Jaxom put his foot down, demanded that they take their hoods off. At which point the hobgoblins removed their hoods, declared the attack, and started attacking you and your group.
To their peril.
It was rude.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I mean, two or massive amounts of whiffing about.
That too.
Much whiffage.
Yes. To which then, during the combat, the package itself burst open and a vampire spawn arose to then attack the group. And where we last left you, you were in the middle of the melee. Wilf had just been grabbed and bitten viciously by said vampire spawn.
Yeah, thanks for that.
And
Wow.
had just had a little bit of his life essence drained out. So that actually brings us to the top of the round again, to the hobgoblins that are surrounding you.
Hobnobbin hobgoblins.
They are definitely in with the hobnobbin.
And you'd think Lindo would be the one used to the life draining essence,
What?
et cetera, et cetera.
What are you trying to say?
Losing your extra, that spunk in your step.
What?
Right then. The two hobgoblins that are facing Tillman and Anders attack.
Oh, right, those guys are
The
here.
one on Tillman actually does get a hit.
Don't do it!
Oof. Okay, so that's another there. Okay. The one on Anders misses. And then we have the two that are surrounding Jaxom. We have one on either side of Jaxom. That one is also between Wilf and Lindo. The one between Wilf and Lindo is actually going to go after Lindo.
Rah!
Yes, indeed. A 5 will probably not hit you.
Ha! I am dexterous.
The one on the other side of Jaxom takes a swing and an 11.
Most definitely will not hit.
Right, so the hobgoblins spend their turn being about as effectual as they are wont to be. So, that brings us next to Lindo. There
Hello.
is a vampire that has grabbed Wilf and bit him viciously, but there's a hobgoblin between you and the vampire.
Help me!
No. Wait, yes. Okay, hold on. Taking a look here. I am going to get to the one that is closest to me.
You are next to a hobgoblin,
I am.
and you do have your sneak attack if you land a hit there.
Haha. You see, the funny part is I would have to hit, and with a magnificent hit as a 8 would be.
Yeah, unfortunately no, but you do have your extra attack. So.
I do. Haha. And a swishy pokey with a 14.
A 14 unfortunately does not hit.
Let's see.
Okay, Elliot, it is your turn.
Right. I'm gonna cast a spell called Scorching Ray.
Okay.
So feel like flickering flames. I'm gonna hit the hobgoblins, particularly the one on my party members first, and then one on one of the guards.
Okay, so you have the one on either side of Jaxom, and then you have the ones on the guard. So first off, let's go with the one closest to you, which is the one between Jaxom and Lindo.
Okay. 13 plus...
Yeah? Maybe?
Probably.
Yeah?
6.
Okay.
Yay! So a
19.
19 will hit.
Huzzah! We're
right.
hitting things!
Somebody
6.
has to, I
For
suppose.
6 points. And for that one, that actually, I believe, has been taken, so that one goes down.
Incinerated.
A burst of flame hits it square in the chest, and it falls.
Same.
Same for
13.
the other one? All right.
4, 6.
And it also goes down.
Oh, very, very helpful.
And
Twin bursts of flame. Now you have the one on Tillman, and you have the one on Anders.
I mean, because
Which one looks
how many
more
times have we
hurt?
missed those?
Which one's cuter?
Anders has been hit more than Tillman.
Anders has been more hit on than Tillman. I'm going to let the ones after Anders.
Okay.
11.
11, unfortunately misses.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, anything else?
That will be my turn.
All right, Jaxom, it is you. You are now alone Well, there's a vampire there, but other than that, no enemies directly surrounding you.
Oh, look, my next target.
Very well.
I'm okay with
On
this.
the vampire spawn.
All right, make it happen. Is this a... Well, let's see what happens when you...
Yeah, let's see what happens
Go
first. That would be a 21.
That is absolutely enough to hit.
Yeah, let's use
I suppose we
a
can save Wilf.
second level spell slot.
I suppose we can
Okay.
save Wilf, maybe.
Yes.
But maybe.
So, we've got
Think about it.
a D8 to hit,
Okay.
and
Bonuses.
bonuses. All right, 5d8. Let's see this.
Okay, all right then. Let's see what happens.
Oh my goodness. Counting all the
Holy crap.
numbers.
13, that would be 16.
16 points of damage on 5d8.
Yes.
Strength bonus and all?
Yep.
All right, well, okay, so that puts it there. Not bad, not bad. And your second attack?
Let's do this. 18.
18 hits.
Oh,
Woo!
all right.
And
Not
you
getting
sti-
its
do you
stupid
still have
vampire
smites
mouth.
left?
Yes.
Okay.
I do still have smites left. Let's do a, let's do a first.
It's smut.
Huzzah!
48.
Yeah?
Oh, look, 16.
16 points. All right.
You know, I'm all right with that.
As you hack into it with your brilliantly glowing radiant blade, the edges of the skin where you're hacking into start to kind of flake off and turn black as you hack into it. The vampire shrieks in pain and kind of recoils away from you slightly after you hack into it like that. It's still up, but the wounds do not seem to be healing nearly as fast as the ones it received from others.
Oh, good.
Keep kicking it in the butt.
Yes, indeed. Anders and Tillman get to go. Anders misses. Tillman misses. They are flailing away at the hobgoblins in the dim light, trying to
Why did we even
fight
bring
them
them?
off there.
We were told to.
Oh.
Yep, Wilf.
Right, I really don't want this guy on me anymore. I'm going to try to attack him.
All right.
Though, to be fair, they're not dead yet, so they are doing their job.
And
Do you wish to attempt to escape the grapple, or are you just staying put?
I'm making to attack him because I think a 22 should hit.
Absolutely does.
And I'm going to make that a mobile flourish, so he is going to be knocked back.
I don't recall. Is there a save for that?
There is no save for that,
Okay.
and that is why I was doing it.
All right.
That's extremely
push it.
helpful.
Yes. He gets. So he takes. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm mathing. 11 damage, and he's knocked back 11 feet.
Okay. So you basically, while you're being grappled there, you pull your cutlass up and you slash it up across his chest, causing him to backpedal a few steps, to which he does, and as he kind of staggers to a stop, he kind of, like, he growls menacingly and then looks
Grr.
down as the open wound you left in his chest starts to seep out a little bit more. He almost kind of gets this look of rage mixed with confusion as he looks down, and then coughs and sprays a gout of black blood down on the ground, and then falls to his knees, and then slumps to the side down on the ground.
Ah.
Oh!
I guess that makes my question that I had nil.
Down it goes. That was a serious amount of damage you dealt with the. To which, upon seeing that, both hobgoblins decide that discretion is the better part of valor. Oh no!
Yeah, I've still got turnage.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I'll take that opportunity to hustle over and make a chop at the one that's fighting Anders?
Yes,
Anders
that's
is
the
the
one
one who's got
Anders.
trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to try to help him out with
Okay.
my offhand chop.
You can tell that the thing's about to run.
That's 18.
18 hits.
And he takes...
Sometimes I like to sit on my offhand. That way, when I fight with
He
it,
takes
it feels like a
a
stranger.
lovely 10 damage.
10 damage, and he goes down. He
Very
was
helpful.
Yep.
Yahoo!
All right. So the last surviving hobgoblin then decides that discretion is the better part of valor and attempts to flee. Tillman is unhappy about this.
Get him, Tillman!
And takes a hack into its back and takes it out. So as the hobgoblin was about to flee, Tillman's sword finds purchase in its back and cuts it down. And there you are left in the cart that had approached with the package there is on fire, although it is rapidly being put out by the torrential rain you guys find yourselves in.
Have you guys noticed that we have a bad luck with the carts?
Well, I was gonna say, it's just like my ex-wife used to say, there will be no survivors.
Really?
Your cart, mind you, is fine.
Okay.
Yes.
The cart that came here with the other package is now in flames. And
Interesting.
Ever been to a halfling
I have
wedding
some
party?
thoughts about that, but I'm going to investigate the cart first.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we going to get in trouble for not delivering the package?
I have some thoughts about that, Lindo, but first, let's investigate the cart.
okay.
The one on fire?
Yes, the one on fire.
Are you going to put it not on fire with your spells?
I don't have to. The rain
It's
is doing it
raining.
for me.
Yeah,
Let's say
the
all
rain
you
is,
have to do is touch it.
the rain is quickly putting the fires out. As Elliot, you approach the other cart again and start investigating it. Go ahead and roll.
13?
13. Okay. And mind you, by this time, Tillman and Anders have made their way over and are just kind of like having a hushed discussion off to the side, although not so hushed as you can definitely hear them over them saying, what the hell is going on? What was that? What's going on? Who did?
It was a vampire!
They seem utterly confused, but are just kind of trying to take it all in at this
And
point.
those were hobgoblins, and that's a cart on fire.
Your investigation of the cart finds it to be of, well, it's not especially well made, but it definitely seems like it's been well cared for. It looks like any kind of cart you would find on, say, a farm or in a village of any kind. Not high end by any stretch.
Interesting.
I'd like to check the lawyer for any sort of identification or anything like that. You
Our
know,
paladin seems to have got the cold in the rain.
Yeah.
it's just
It's
got
okay.
a little bit of the short-nosed snivels.
He's not immune to disease yet.
No, give me another level or two.
And you want what sort of roll do you want?
Go ahead
on
and
that?
roll me perception. You're gonna
Or investigation? For rifling through his pockets?
this one I'm gonna go say perception.
I don't want that one. So 14.
A 14. Okay. You start rifling through the pockets
that's not that
of
bad.
the vampire spawn. So, luckily, well, first off, the body is still kind of twitching a little bit.
I'll take out some of my oil then, and as soon as I've checked his pockets thoroughly, I douse him in oil.
Okay. So you start checking his pockets. His pockets, per se, what you do find is about 150 gold in various coins.
Hello.
You find the fact that his clothing itself, now that you're getting a decent look at it, are very well made, well tailored, and of fine make.
I mean, like, how often do you see a vampire who isn't in fancy clothes, right?
I'll take the boots for Lindo. I'm sure he'll want them.
Ooh.
That
Yeah,
also
entirely
begs the
plausible.
question of how often do you see a vampire?
You know, like in storybooks.
Or plays. The plays where the
Indie
vampires
plays?
are always like, you know,
They're so pretty.
sweeping down and with their beautiful permed hair and everything.
The glittery.
Right. Hard to
God,
tell.
I don't go to those plays. I don't go to those plays.
Hard to tell, of course, in the rain of how glittery this one may or may not have been. But what you do find that is glittery is on one of its fingers you see what looks to be a sigil ring
Hello?
that seems to be bearing a house crest.
Wonder which house this is.
I don't know. Not there. I'm not looking at it. But
I'm
if
also
I
not
was,
looking at it.
I
Right,
would look
you're
at
still investigating the cart, which
Yes.
beyond what I've already mentioned has no other identifying things about
No,
it.
it doesn't. Okay.
Right.
I was checking out the hobgoblins. Eh?
So,
Okay, you don't even have to roll. The hobgoblins, amongst all of them, have about 20 gold in various coins.
Okie dokie.
They were decently paid.
Definitely looks like it.
So I'm gonna now that I have soaked the looted vampire in oil. Hey, Jaxom, can you do that thing where your sword is all fiery, holy thing, and just sort of
Easy enough.
Whack it.
All right.
set it on holy fire?
Will do.
And Jaxom says a quick prayer, his sword flaring up in brilliant light, and then goes up and lights the vampire spawn on fire.
And chops its head off.
Okay, just to make sure.
Yes.
All right.
You know, I'm fine with that.
Hey, Elliot.
Yes?
Is he a wizard too? He's putting out fire and stuff.
He gets his magic from his god.
Yeah, no. The aliens
They're
came down and gave
different.
him magical powers.
All right, because he's a god botherer.
Yes, he is a god botherer. It's a good thing, though.
Yes.
Right. So the vampire doesn't take very long to get consumed by the radiant flames from your sword and the oil, and is reduced to ash very quickly, but does leave you there with the signet ring and the coins. Also, Tillman and Anders, who are now standing there watching your group, kind of guardedly, like, not sure whether they need to approach you or not.
So, I'll give, what is it, 150? That's enough for each of us to get 25, and then if we split up the,
I see that fair.
give them, yeah. 25 gold apiece, you know.
Make it at 30, because I will divide maybe this 20 that I have found.
Lovely, lovely.
Right.
Because out of the kindness of my heart, yes?
We pass it around, and as well as give Anders and Tillman
The change.
So you parse out the gold, and as you're approaching them, Tillman just kind of steps forward and goes, "Okay, so would anyone mind telling us what the hell just happened here?"
Okay, I got you. Okay, first, the king and his wife told us to come here with a cart. And
The
then...
Grand Vizier, not his wife.
Okay, the vizier. And then we got here. And then a vampire showed up with some hobgoblins. And then we killed them.
Do you think maybe they attacked the people we were supposed to meet?
I don't think so.
It seems like we
seemed
were
like the
the
appropriate
people
cart.
they were supposed to meet.
Sounds like they wanted us to deliver a vampire spawn to the other town.
Well, remember, Bale said that there had been a cart that had been stolen.
Yes. And
So
this
we-
looks like it.
We're delivering a stolen cart for the king?
Wait, so...
No, that sounds stupid. I'm sorry.
Do you still have a copy of that first note we found?
I don't.
Ah,
Bale
bugger.
has it.
Oh.
Don't suppose you remember at all what the handwriting looked like?
Knowledge something?
Go and make an intelligence check.
Okay, intelligence.
Good old-fashioned knowledge something.
14?
Yeah, you have a fairly good memory of what the flowy script looked like. Yeah.
Okay, and then compare it to the note I have for the new thing.
Okay, so you compare the note that you found on the hobgoblin's body back in the woods, detailing out the locations and times of the trade caravan carrying the goods to Kellenhall, with the missive and the directions that were given to you by Cavro Seldith for the transport. And aside from it being in a different language, it absolutely matches.
What is all?
Okay.
What is okay?
It seems like our Grand Vizier is working with the hobgoblins.
What?
At this point, Tillman kind of looks around at everyone and says, "But that doesn't make any sense. Why would they be working with them? They've been hounding our lands for months now."
Yeah, but think about this. We were supposed to go deliver this to a town, right?
Yeah.
What would happen if we just accepted the package and delivered it to the town?
He kind of looks over at Anders, who kind of raises an eyebrow, shrugs. Tillman says, "I suppose we would have brought them a vampire."
The vampire would eat them all.
Oh,
Eh?
I don't think it would eat them all, but it would start eating people.
He would eat some.
Also, vampires are fairly intelligent creatures, I believe. So,
I remember a player I once watched by this king named Stephen. Something about some sort of extra lot, and basically someone moved a vampire in, and it pretty much killed everyone. The end.
What's that? What's that have to? What?
One of the Tillman looks over and says, "But where did the vampire come from? This is
The cart?
I'm assuming they don't just come out of everywhere, do they?"
No, I came from the cart.
I don't know. Is there some sort of bad guys or a superstore?
I don't know much about vampires.
Is there?
Lindo, you seem to know a lot.
Oh, about the vampires?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
go
you did
ahead and roll. Oh yeah, yeah.
rolled a natural 20 last.
I remember. Yeah.
A 4.
They are dead.
Okay, so these vampires, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So, a lot like zombies, they were once living, and they're now, dead.
So they're undead.
Yes?
Didn't we defeat an undead, a necromancer recently?
Maybe?
No, we did defeat a necromancer recently.
Jaxom giving me that look like he wants to roll again to know what he knows
Yeah.
about vampires. Sure,
Yes.
I bet.
Ooh. 10.
Oh, it beats up my
They
4.
are a somewhat powerful form of undead. One that doesn't generally pop up without either being created by somebody or by being created by a vampire.
Yeah.
Thus the name Vampire Spawn.
Yes.
Yes.
So I relay that, and that's about all. Unfortunately, that's about all I have for them.
So somewhere in this country, we are dealing with an actual vampire.
That would stand to reason with logic and, sort of got
What
Occam's
if?
razor bit there.
What if the Grand Vizier wife is a vampire and is working with hobgoblins to eat the kingdom? Dun dun dun!
Well, I mean,
I mean, that's not entirely far-fetched, right?
Tillman kind of just looking at you. The Grand Vizier was... I mean,
I don't think he's a vampire. It's
Okay,
okay.
does anybody else have a better idea? He has to be evil. He didn't even look at me once.
Well, I mean, as long as the king's not doing fantastically healthy, the Grand Vizier gets to run the show however he wants, right?
When did that start?
when did what start?
The unhealthy?
The Grand Vizier running the country.
The Grand Vizier has been assisting in the day-to-day operations of the country for almost 20 years.
Okay, when did the goblins start?
They've only really been a big problem over the past, say, 5 or 6 years or so. I mean, ever since the war where Kellenhall and the people of Jarral pushed out the Green Tide back into the mountains, they've always been a bit of a problem, but it's just been over the past 5 or 6 years that they've been becoming more aggressive.
Okay, call me ignorant, but what is Green Tide?
The orcs and the goblins came down from the mountains and attacked the country. It happened almost 50 years ago.
I did hear about this. Did you tell me about this? I think I learned about this once.
Probably. You haven't been here for very
They're
long.
not
Mr.
from this
Lindo.
area.
We're not particularly local, so
Anders at this point has cleaned his sword, has put it away, has pulled his cloak closely around him, and is kind of looking at the party. Looks at Tillman, says, "I'm going home," and starts walking down the path back where you came. Just walks right past the cart and starts walking back towards Kellenhall.
Yeah, he doesn't have a bad idea.
Actually, that is a fairly terrible idea. If we're not bringing this package that we were asked to by the king of this country to that city, the package is destroyed.
Right, so shouldn't
Yes.
we go back and tell them that it is gone?
I've got a really
That
gross
seems loyal.
idea.
Oh no.
Really gross idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
It's ought to be interesting.
So we lump the hobgoblins into the back of that cot there. We bring them into the town, and we send a pigeon over to Bale, saying, holy shit, man, this just went down. Because I don't think Bale's
I
trying
got
to
the
set us
better
up.
idea. You know how you have that bite mark? Okay. We put you in a coffin. All right, you with me here? We go to the town. And then they'll be like, oh, a vampire. And you're like, oh, I am a vampire. And then we escape in the night. So they can see a package has been turned, and it's not your fault that you have escaped. I do not think this is a bad idea.
I have a feeling they would just gang up and kill Mr. Wilf.
No,
How do you know? He's a very inspiring bard type.
Anders at this point has run out, Tillman has run after Anders, has stopped him, and they're having another conversation between them.
Okay, so this sounds awful.
Yes.
But what if we just deliver, I don't know, an empty box?
What empty box?
The
Like a box.
A, burst
on
open,
fire.
B,
Yeah.
caught fire.
Well, there's that.
How do we know if the town was actually expecting a vampire?
I don't think the town was expecting. No one expects. Oh, I can't wait for more vampire to get in. I can't wait for that to get shipped to me.
But what if there was? What if there was like some very excited little girl or little boy on the other side who was waiting for their delivery of a vampire?
Then I think it's actually our job to kill that person once we get there.
I agree.
So maybe we should go kill children.
Were we given a contact
Lindo.
name as to who we were supposed to be delivering this to?
Yes, absolutely you were. You were told that you were to bring it to the mayor of Jarral. Specifically a name that I have here listed somewhere in my notes.
I think we should
Ooh.
bring the cart to Jarral at least and be like, so
The cart
Mayor
is on
Olgrid
fire.
Forcell.
It's on fire.
here's the thing.
The cart is no longer on fire.
Well, the
Yeah.
cart is burnt.
But we can still deliver, you know,
The burnt cart.
now reacquired horse and buggy.
We deliver him the cart with the empty box, and we put him to the question to find out whether he is complicit in this.
We should actually maybe get the guards on our side before we start.
Who, by the way, are still having a discussion off to the side, kind of where next to the cart you guys came in.
Anders! Dillman! Come back here!
After a moment or so, they both come trudging back over through the mud and.
Okay, we have two ideas. One, we dress Wilf up as a vampire.
Terrible.
That's a terrible idea.
Ah!
To which Anders just nods, looking kind of grumpy, and Tillman kind of looks at you, kind of shrugs. Okay. What's your other plan?
I extinguish my blade. I put it away. I walk up to them. You gentlemen purported yourselves well on the field. We are going to need your help with this, because something went sideways here.
A little awry.
Yes.
Right. Anders is looking terribly grumpy.
Do either of you have friends amongst the guard in the city?
They both nod. Tillman says, well, Commander Bale, obviously, beyond reproach. I mean, he's...
We're talking about in Jarral.
Jarral. Oh,
Yes.
Tillman kind of shrugs. Anders thinks about it for a moment, nods. Yeah.
When we get to town, I would like to see if you would go to them, try to get them onto our side, because we're going to need to confront the mayor.
See if the mayor is actually aware that, you know, he was supposed to be getting
vampire.
the newest, most fashionable bloodsucker. Also, have you guys ever seen this symbol before?
Knowledge history.
Roll history.
I am also doing this thing.
You want me to do that with disadvantage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Haha! That is a ring with a family thing on it.
Yep.
17.
17, okay.
That 19's really shot in the foot by the 6.
18.
Okay. The two of you, actually, the two who have the highest chance of figuring it out, do recognize it. Both of you recognize the house signal, the house sigil of House Lofgren, which is a noble house of Kellenhall. As a matter of fact, one of the nobles sitting at the table at the dinner you attended was the head of House Lofgren.
The Lofgrens, huh?
Oh,
Absolutely.
you knocking knees with vampires.
Because that was certainly on our little mosquito there.
This is not good.
But we have evidence. Evidence. That's important, right?
Tillman says,
Yes?
at this point,
Starts waving the ring.
perhaps
No, put that down. Put that down.
Waving the ring.
Put it in your pocket for later.
perhaps
I will
maybe we
take
make
that.
camp and we decide in the morning.
That does sound like a good idea.
Let's go a little bit away from this place, though. I think really
There's a waypoint further down the road that is where we normally make camp. I believe there's a little shelter there.
Okay, we will follow your lead on this.
Elliot, what are you going to do with the ring?
I'm going to put it in my pack and hold on to it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, as you guys gather your things and make your way down the road a bit, do you do anything with the cart, or do you just kind of leave it there in the road with the
The normal one or
surrounded by
the
bodies?
on fire one?
Well, I mean, that one's still got a horse, right?
Yeah.
We take it
them
with.
both.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. You take
gonna
that cart
leave
as
that
well.
If the
horse
cart
out
is still
here.
serviceable, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a
yeah.
little charred, but you're fine.
Worst
Well,
case
hobgoblins
scenario,
might eat it.
we could also just take the horse. Let's take the horse.
You don't
Because we don't need the
cart?
second cart. What we need is to not leave an animal all by himself surrounded by corpses.
Thought you did not like the horses.
Confuse some passing farmers. A bunch of dead hobgoblins and just a horse standing in the middle of it.
That wouldn't confuse farmers.
Just put a knife in its mouth, walk away.
Hook it up with a sword on the side, with a sheath and everything.
We can always find a use for a cart. We'll take all of it.
Okay,
Okay.
works for me.
So you gather your things, you make your way down. It's only another mile or so down the road when you actually get to what looks to be kind of like half of a cottage, just like the roof and one set of, and kind of a back and side walls open so that you guys can basically go in, make a fire, and kind of be undercover.
Sure.
I've camped in worse.
For the
I get
first
them better.
hour when we get there, I am repeatedly casting alarm.
Okay. Fair.
Oh, I have something for that.
Or you, yeah.
It's not concentration.
Aye.
It's not concentration.
Okay. Are you just going to do your ritual to gain your,
No, I'm just building alarms around the base that we're going to
Gotcha.
sleep in.
But Elliot,
Okay.
what about my thing?
Oh,
I have an
also-
alarm right there.
produces a small soundproof box.
I'll take a moment to real quick heal up some of my damage there.
Oh, yeah. You guys end up taking a long rest for the
good.
rest of the evening.
Very helpful.
Ooh, does that mean that I'll get my
Yep.
maximum restored?
Yep.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
And the spells I used.
Yeah, all your spells back, all your hit points back, all of it, and your hit dice. So
My lay on hands that I don't think I actually reset from the last fight.
entirely plausible.
and my bardic inspiration, so I can knock people around.
It's pretty quiet around the fire when it comes to Tillman and Anders, other than Tillman kind of jokingly trying to change the conversation to anything other than the fact that you guys were just sent on this mission and all the terrible implications it might have.
Once we actually get set up in camp, I pull out some of my tinker tools and I start working on my project.
Okay. You continue tinkering and working on that.
Do you want any rolls or just
Days and amount of money put into it, I believe, is what we were doing.
Yeah, you had me put in 400.
Yep. And so you're working on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Your story is funny, Tillman. It reminds me about the one time that I thought chaps were pants. I did not know you had to wear anything under it. But in the long run, I got all the ladies that night.
Oh, good amount of chuckling and entertainment is had around the fire then.
You know, I've been in places where chaps refer to people.
What?
Yeah. They're like, oh, that's a nice chap.
Well, they were nice chaps.
So you were a nice chap in the chaps,
I was a chap in chaps.
and you ended up feeling a little chapped?
Only in the front.
Right.
I try and tell some music anecdotes from things that happened in the Abbey, this and that.
Okay. People listen intently and laugh when
And
appropriate.
then he died in the holy water. This is what I imagine.
No, nobody died in the holy water.
And then Brother Dunstan got into the sacramental wine.
After the first 3 times, they should have known to watch him better.
Right. So the evening passes fairly quietly, a little bit warmer than you might have expected it to. Morning arrives, though. Whoever is on last watch.
I don't
Not
think
it.
there was any watches
I
because
think we
I
can-
put
I
alarm
think we
spells
can,
everywhere.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll automatically wake me up if there's anybody who comes close to us.
Okay. So if anyone doesn't trust your alarm spells,
Yes.
Oh, I had secretly put out my alarm
Okay.
right by the road.
all right.
Right by the road.
Right by the road. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So unless somebody else wants to stay up, I'm
You're
Perfect.
fast asleep, right?
Yeah, if we were aware of the alarm spells, then I'm not
Okay,
that
yeah,
worried
you-
about it.
You guys are at least aware of the ones that Elliot cast.
Okay.
I trust magic.
So fairly early in the morning, as the
Somebody
sun
has
is
to.
rising, you hear the gruff voice of Anders yelling, "Get up! Get up! Now!"
Okay,
Oh.
I'm up.
And you see him standing at the edge of the camp, and he's staring eastward down the road you came from. And he's got his sword in his hand and his shield on his other, and he's just glaring at the sky. And as you guys rouse yourselves and make your way over, you look off to the east, and on the horizon, you see massive columns of black smoke rising to the sky.
Is it that at the Kellen Hall?
That's exactly the direction of Kellenhall.
I think that maybe we should be double tomming it back there.
yes, I agree.
Hey.
Yes, the mayor and all of that can wait.
Tillman is at this point pulling out his boots and muttering something about not starting with a good breakfast. But you guys are at this point about 2.5 days outside of Kellenhall.
And we can see the smoke from that. Damn.
Yes.
That is unfortunate.
So, are you guys in haste? Are you double timing it back? Are you pushing it, or are you taking a leisurely travel?
I say we ditch
push
one of
it.
the carts, and we have the horses work in teams so that we can actually double our speed.
We could also.
Both or all 3 of the horses?
I would say that we also take off the supplies and use the carts for our sleeping, and try to go as quickly as we can.
Okay.
I'm just.
So let's haste this.
I don't think we should
I-
throw out the supplies because that'll just attract banditry.
But we do have enough room for at least a couple of people to sit in.
Yeah.
So that we can continually move.
So, are you going to do a forced march for your travel back, or are you going to travel your normal? Because normal travel's 8 hours a day. Forced march means you just keep going until you.
I say we keep going. We can throw somebody in the cart. They can sleep while we march forward.
I take the time to do the ritual to summon my steed.
Okay. So, how many horses does that give you guys at this point?
We have 3.
3 total horses. All right. For the grand total of 6 of you. So, two people per horse. Because I mean, Tillman is a halfling. Wilf is a gnome. So, between you guys could double up and ride.
Okay.
So we're just leaving the supplies and just riding.
That's up to you.
I thought we were going to we're going to leave the empty wagon and just switch back and forth with the horse to which one's carrying. That way we increase the amount of speed and the amount of ground we can cover.
I mean, I leave that
Yeah.
to you guys. You guys can push it and get it back as fast as possible, or not.
My natural tingle says we should probably go back as fast as possible to the wafting smoke 2 days from here.
Yes, let's get
Yeah.
moving. I don't
All
have
right.
anything that magic-wise that I can help us with.
Then let's just ride. Yeah.
Okay. Riding fast will actually get you back in a fraction of the time it took you to get out here.
Dibsies to ride the magical horse.
So basically, leaving early in the morning, you guys will actually be able to arrive back in Kellenhall by the evening.
Oh, well, there we go.
Because you are legit pushing your horses at a consistent ride the whole way.
Okay, let's do this.
So, you guys mount up, gather what supplies you can, and race off down the road towards Kellenhall. So, as you guys are traveling your way there, you note that the sky is darkening much quicker than just for the normal passing of the hours. Every mile you get closer to Kellenhall, the sky goes a shade darker. And it's not just from the clouds. It actually feels like you're heading towards nightfall. You also note that as you're making your way through, the air seems almost charged. That it feels wrong.
Knowledge Arcane?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna try that as well.
I
You and your
don't like
crazy
this.
magic people.
13.
A 13?
That's an 18.
Okay. For a 13, you're not sure. You're definitely feeling like something has gone wrong. And it definitely feels like this is either aftermath or residue of something. But you're not 100% sure where it might be coming from, aside from you think you're heading towards the center of it.
Oh, that's a bad thought.
Your 18 definitely gets the feeling like you've kind of felt this type of energy before, and then you remember during your fight with the necromancer at the top of the lighthouse at Coleman's Rest,
That was my...
you remember being hit by magic that very much felt similar to this.
Wait, you mean that big old negative energy blast that she nailed us?
Yes.
With the, like blight? What was it spell? What was it?
She had it was a spirit, kind of a spiritual guardian spell, but still you felt that kind of energy, the type of energy she was using to power her spells.
This seems a lot like that
Jaxom, you want to roll too?
spiritual
Sure.
guardian blast thing that she
11.
nailed me with.
Okay. You have advantage,
Oh, well then.
specifically.
I had a terrible thought, Mr. Wilf.
19.
You felt this before. You felt almost this exact thing before. The air here
Yeah.
feels like it does in the Blighted Hills, in the Rotting Hills itself.
All right.
That's what you're feeling. And you're, northwest of Kellenhall.
Yeah, this feels like in the Blighted Hills. This
Feels like we're in the
not
Blighted
good.
Hills?
What is the Blighted Hill?
Sorry, Rotting Hills.
The Rotting Hills.
What is the Rotted Hill? What is the Rot Blight Hill?
That's that place that they talk about that's filled to the gill with undead.
Oh, okay. Are we riding into the bio undead? I thought we talked about how this ruins my shoes.
I had a terrible thought, Mr. Wilf. We remember how we got the
Lantern.
lantern, yes.
The Brazier of Ograd.
The Brazier of Ograd.
Ah, the brazier.
That was, a massive battery for that could be used for giant rituals.
Holy shit.
I don't get it.
No, see, you know how the necromancer was trying to make big evil spells with the brazier?
Uh-huh.
Now, what if you, say, took that brazier to a much larger, more populated area where there's a whole lot more corpses and also had a lot more powerful, bad guy spellcaster likes
More zombies. Right?
in the capital?
This would be a good opportunity to go to church.
Like, I'm just pointing out that he had us try to go pick up a box with a vampire in it. A jackass in a box.
This also kind of explains why we were pushed out of the town.
Because we knew it.
Because we wouldn't make a good zombie?
No, because we are strong enough to fight back.
And we would have fought. With us being gone, gave him free reign
Why don't we
to
stop
start this.
Let us go fight!
Anders at this point actually is looking even more grumpy and kind of looks up and says, "We were sent out too. We were sent out because we have experience in the Rotting Hills."
Uh-oh.
Tillman's nodding emphatically, and he's looking extremely upset about all these revelations.
Well, if anything, we need to get to Bale. He'll probably be trying to rally
To bail.
what he could out of the guards.
Indeed. And as you guys are riding into the dark, the dark horizon ahead of you, and towards the columns of smoke rising to the heavens from what might still be what's left of Kellenhall, we will end for this session. So thank you for joining us, Digidicers, and until the next
love
episode
you.
of Hazardous Endeavors,
Game on, Internet!